It's night and day.
Dissidia Final Fantasy.
Hey, Night and Day back again.
Yes, back in the world of Dissidia Final Fantasy.
They released a new DLC character, so we're back to revisit the story and see what happens next.
Yep. Once more to see, does this add on to anything in the story, or is this going to be just a little snippet like last time? We'll see.
Yeah, they threw the Vayne part in the middle of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find out what happens now that they've added Locke Cole from Final Fantasy VI.
Yeah.
Here, new story. Is that it at the very end, actually? It is!
Oh, wow.
Aha!
Aha. Whoa, that's crazy. So they put him after everything.
Huh, let's check it out.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, we want to view this memory.
Heck yeah.
This isn't exactly what I was trained for. I understand your trepidation, but... Don't get me wrong. It just feels strange to fight beside people who aren't my classmates. By that, I assume you mean your friends back home? Don't know if I'd call them friends. I mean, we were just in the same class. Some were way too rowdy and some poked their noses where they didn't belong. I guess they're sort of like siblings.
Oh. Huh? Sounds like we're birds of a feather.
We are?
Yep. I've been with this traveling troupe ever since I was a kid. They've always treated me as one of their own.
I'm an orphan as well. Those who took me in and fought alongside me are like family now.
I live with a bunch of street urchins, but we get by just fine. We know a guy who sets us up with work from time to time.
Let me guess. You're the runt?
Well, I had a big brother, but everyone looks up to me now.
You? A leader?
I'm not surprised. He's self-reliant and has natural charisma.
Must be nice. Everyone around me just wants attention, like they're the big man on campus.
What a pain. Just like being a big brother, I bet.
What are you talking about?
Wow. Okay.
That was interesting meeting of the minds there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. They just kind of had to talk about their lives back home really quick. Yeah, they just walked out of the portal, stopped everything that they were doing, and then gave each other's backstory.
And they were talking with Ace.
Yeah.
Ace instead of Locke. Ace is not the DLC character, so I'm not sure what exactly the situation is supposed to be here.
That's gonna be interesting if like none of them are in the next cutscene. I really hope that's what they do. But maybe they have like this grand scheme planned for all these DLC characters and stuff like that that they're setting up for. But yeah, it was a bit strange. Ace just kind of plopped out of nowhere and was like, "This is my backstory. We're brothers now."
Basically, yeah, Ace is from Final Fantasy Type 0, where, yeah, he's in a school that's geared towards training people for war. So it's similar to Final Fantasy VIII in that it's like a military academy.
Right, okay.
Where they're trained, and he's from this Special Forces unit that's kind of the pinnacle of their military skill. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the intro of that game is pretty awesome because Ace's Special Forces team comes in and they get called into this war zone, this absolute bloodbath, and they get called in to turn the tide. But yeah, he's in an academy, so it makes sense that he's saying that his people aren't really friends.
Yeah.
They're more like allies, comrades in arms,
Right.
people you fight side by side with, but not necessarily people you choose to be friends with.
Right.
So yeah, the concept of saying they're similar to siblings is pretty spot on.
Yeah, I could see that. Does everyone have like magic cards like Ace does, or is that his thing?
No, everyone in that game has a different weapon, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, Ace has got that throwing card, magic card thing. He's really good at distance fighting, and he's really fast.
Makes sense, yeah. Just throw 52 card pickup and kill somebody. I think that's pretty awesome.
Well, let's check out what happens next.
Yeah, let's go for it.
We already covered Vaughn, Zidane, and Furion in our previous videos.
Yeah.
You guys can check those out if you want to see some more of the backstory of those guys.
Oh, yeah.
For now, we'll concentrate on the new stuff that we see.
Yeah, sounds good. Planeswalkers. Oh no, dispatched. We finally get to see what it's like afterwards.
You coordinate well with your team.
I am taught by the best, sir.
I doubt you learned that from me. You might have learned. But try telling this guy to hold up.
Someone's gotta distract him.
Excuses.
My skill to adapt has been forged by countless allies.
A fine sentiment. I too owe a debt to those who aided me. My allies sacrificed much and more to stand beside me, to avenge their fallen comrades, and to preserve their beloved nations.
My house was an oxbow in the yoke of oppression. That it restricted others shames me.
You highborn or something, Ramza?
Birth is not high or low.
You're not wrong. Still, I wouldn't use that as an excuse.
I know you won't make excuses. If I'm ever in trouble, you'll come to my rescue.
Huh? Oh, thanks, I guess.
You mean to say we have an obligation to those in need?
Exactly.
Do you guys need to fulfill obligations? You're more like standards anyway. What? You know, soldiers see a standard flapping in the wind and they rally behind it.
You mean, as they would a leader?
I'm no soldier, but I think standards and emblems have their place for sure.
Standards can't rally anyone if no one lifts them up.
Huh. Oh yeah, I guess I have had your back on the battlefield a lot.
No, I mean, like, your positivity is contagious or something?
Huh?
Never mind. We've got more battles to fight. Let's go.
Whatever you say.
Doubtless he stands before us now thanks to another such as you.
All right, well, in that one, they're definitely painting Vaughn out to be the smartest person who has ever lived.
I think that's the most I've heard, like in this game, like compounded into one cutscene.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So it was really interesting seeing them all together. Vaughn was the only one who was in both cutscenes.
Yeah.
The difference between Highborn and Lowborn is a huge theme in Final Fantasy Tactics.
Okay.
So that's why Ramza was quick to say, no, it doesn't matter if you're Highborn or Lowborn.
Right. Okay.
But Vaughn noticed that he was Highborn from just the way his manner of speaking.
Right.
So he was like, I don't understand anything this guy's saying. Since you're, eloquent, you have a wider vocabulary than me by far, you must be Highborn. Ramza's like, hey! don't you say that word. There's no such thing. And then Cecil and Noctis chip in because they're both kings. So they're like, yeah, we understand Highborn a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Noctis volunteers, okay, yeah, I'm Highborn, but it doesn't matter. I'll come to you if you ever need me. And Vaughn comes back with the, yeah, do you guys ever have to dive in and help people? Because you're more like standards anyway.
Right.
So everyone will rally behind you. So I really like the flow of that conversation.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was expecting something totally different because this seems like, yeah, that's all that was added to it. So, yeah, I was expecting like maybe an introduction to Locke, but I guess they're just using this as an opportunity to launch the story into the next segment, which is cool. I guess that's going to be like seeing Noctis and Cecil and all of these major players turning this into something bigger than just fighting the Planescourgers or something like that.
Yeah, at least it's some sort of continuation of the story like we had hoped at the end.
Right.
So that's pretty awesome. I am glad that that's moving forward. I agree with you. It's strange the way they decided to do this.
Yeah.
Because they're introducing Ace and Ramza. And Ace and Ramza were already in the game.
Yeah.
So this is Locke's DLC. Hi, Ace and Ramza. What are you guys doing here?
Nice to see you again, but
they could have added these cutscenes at any time, and there was no fight. So, compared to how they did Vayne, this doesn't really make as much sense.
right. Yeah, definitely. Maybe we'll see Locke in the next DLC when we have the other character.
Yeah,
and
maybe
then
they're-
they'll like have this being a staggered kind of story to the actual gameplay release or character releases that they have, which interesting.
Maybe they're waiting to release several at once because it was a little weird how they shoehorned Vayne into an earlier part of the story, and Vayne was the only original character.
Right.
So it would get kind of repetitive if they kept doing that. But way back then, Locke was there.
Right.
And he fought this other guy. So maybe if they further the standard story cutscenes after the original ending and they introduce a bunch of DLC characters at the same time, then they go back and have this massive fight with 6 new people simultaneously.
Yeah.
Then that could cover a lot more ground that way.
That's true. Yeah, they could use these as just stepping stones for a next, even more like major story that they could just launch all the next DLC characters into, and then yeah, you could just duke it out with all brand new DLC characters, and that would be a cool little addition to just a regular, like, oh, this guy was here and he did this one fight, now you never see him again, kind of thing.
So that's going to do it for this episode. So tune in next time. But since this is the Locke DLC, let's take a look at Locke, his skins, and some gameplay
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
to show you guys what he looks like, his fighting style, how he plays. And while we're doing that, I can go over some of the backstory of Locke as a character.
Yeah, that sounds cool. We'll see you guys next time.
This guy is so done. 2 for 1!
Oh my god, you can do that? This is incredible.
That was so awesome. Never mind, Bahamut, we don't need you,
yeah,
buddy.
you can go back to sleep.